Hello, this is Duncan Welder with RISC, and I want to take you on a brief tour of the VTA Learner System. This is RISC's enterprise-focused learning management system. So I'm starting off here on my Learner Portal, which tends to be the springboard that I use for getting into the system. It gives me easy access to search the course catalog or resource library. I can see courses that are coming due in the next 30 days, things that I do have in progress, as well as to-do list items like supervisor approvals to make or surveys to complete. From this page, if I want to take action on a course, say schedule myself or planning for employee advancement here, I can go out and look at the dates and times that course is offered, as well as the number of seats available. And if I want to enroll myself, I can do that. That's going to kick off a few different activities inside the system. As it says on the screen, a notice was sent to my supervisor so that she could approve my enrollment either through the Learner Portal itself or through the VTA Supervisor mobile apps for Android and iOS. That's also generated a calendar notice that was sent back to me, so that's included in my regular work schedule. One of the things I want to take a quick look at is the learning plan itself, especially in high consequence industries where you have very prescriptive training plans based on someone's job title or role. The training plan inside VTA mirrors that group of assignments, compares it to my training history, and then shows me the courses that are coming due with some due date, because any one of those requirements can have a refresher frequency. So if it needs to be completed annually or every 3 years to maintain compliance, we can set that up inside the application itself and let the system manage those refresher frequencies. I still have the same options here: start for online or self-study courses, schedule or cancel for instructor-led or virtual classroom events, something that's a synchronous learning event. I have a student selector at the top because I'm logged in as a supervisor, but we'll take a look at that in a little more detail shortly. Some of the other functions inside the system are competency assessment. So here are competencies that have been assigned to me that I can go in and create a self-assessment for. Of course, I can also see the last assessment that was made on me. If I go through and switch to a different student, select Lisa again here, then you'll see that the competency list changes to her competencies. And if I want to, say, go down to this mobile equipment competency group, she has assigned carry deck crane operation, and she has a target proficiency level there of intermediate. I can see the proficiency indicators that help me identify the behaviors that she takes to justify that ranking as, say, either a basic, intermediate, advanced, whatever the scale is created by the group. But I can create her assessment, and then also, if I want, I can assign development plan items that can be used for her to strengthen her skills. I'm going to go back to myself here, and then as I switch through the windows, take a look at a couple other functions. Organizationally, I can navigate through the hierarchy of who I report to, who reports to me, and browse through those items. I have access to some social learning functions like blogs and forums, of course, my own training history and external training. But as a supervisor, a couple things that I think are particularly critical. One, my dashboards, so I can go in and see, maybe for my operations group that I supervise, or here for my admin group that I supervise, what are the kind of quick items to take a look at. If I want to drill down into any one of those graphs, I can do that. Say, what information makes up this big wedge of green things that are in progress less than 30 days, and who those students are. If I want to drill down into a little more in-depth information, I can go in and select the reporting option inside the system. And since I'm logged in as a supervisor, I have supervisor reports. I also have access to instructor reports. So if, for example, I wanted to go in and generate a status matrix report for a handful of my employees here, and I'll just randomly grab some of those folks. Scroll down as I could change my output format and that kind of information. I could even save that report as a favorite if I wanted to run it with some frequency. So now open up that report and I can see my students down the side of the page, my courses across the top, and in the cells themselves, whether they're in compliance, out of compliance, or they have something due in the next 60 days. So a lot of information I can gather here. Again, not as in-depth and cross-site reporting focused as the back office reporting functions, but items for supervisors specifically, or as an example, for instructors, if I wanted to generate a sign-up sheet for this ABCs of LMS selection implementation course that I'm scheduled to teach, I can do that. The system will already populate the roster with the students, my header information, so it's easy to get that information out. On the instructor front, there's actually a full slate of instructor tools inside the system. So if I wanted to see the roster of students that are coming to a class, send them an email, access the slide deck for that session, I could do it. I could even go in when that course is complete and move that session to history. When I do that, it will give me an option to update no-shows or cancellations. I can do the same thing with the instructor app for Android and iOS as well. Just a couple other things wanted to make note on. Since I am in as a supervisor, I have an option for delegates if I want to delegate someone else to approve training while I'm out of the office. I can also take a look at my class schedule. And let me bounce over to the next month here. And in this case, I'm going to select this first aid class, and I'm going to hit enroll group. So now I'll see all of my direct reports if they are enrolled or not. If they are not enrolled, as they are in this case, I could enroll. If someone was enrolled, I could cancel as well. They'd be notified automatically via email throughout the system, and get that calendar notice after the system has completed any prerequisite or conflict checking for those students. So again, just a brief walkthrough of that learner system, including the portal, access to competency assessments, access to my training plan, the ability to go out and search the course catalog. Really hope that Learner acts as a one-stop shop for students, supervisors, and instructors to get training information. Of course, all that information comes from the VTA back office suite, and we'll put together a separate video on where all of this data comes from. In the meantime, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Again, my name is Duncan Welder. It's duncanw@risc-inc.com or www.risc-inc.com. Thank you much. Have a great day.